Today I'm going to show you some techniques for starting a small motif in both directions. This motif is actually taken from my Bucks Point workbook, but I have enlarged it slightly so it makes it more clear on the camera. The techniques are the same starting a motif in both directions for many laces. This one is Bucks Point, but you could be starting it in Bedfordshire in the same way. I'm going to start by putting a pin in the first pinhole, and I'm going to do a false picot. So I hang 2 pairs of bobbins in open formation, astride the pin, rainbow fashion some people call it, and put 5 twists on one pair, and then work a cloth stitch and just tension that up around the pin. These threads are a little bit long, so I'll just shorten those so that you can actually see them on the camera. Nice neat little trick if you've not used this before. Put the pin under the loop and just wind it up to save taking the hitch off. Now we need to add in 2 pairs of passives for each direction, so we put those out there. And we're going to just lay these 2 pairs across the pillow, and then another 2 pairs, which will give you 2 pairs to the left and 2 pairs to the right. And you can just put a little pin under it just in the middle there, just to push them up near to where you want to work. And then to secure it, you can either use something like this pin here, which is a pin at either end, and it secures the threads, or you could put a berry pin at the end of each pair of bobbins, and this just stops the right hand pair moving about when you're working with the left hand side. Now what we're going to do is the pair that you've put out to the left, work through the first 2 passives to the centre. Now, because this is Bucks Point, we've also got to consider adding pairs in for the ground, so we have to make decisions about that at this point as well. Here you're going to need a pair to come down there, and you're going to need a stitch without a pin, and possibly want to come out from the next pin over to go down there. So you make the decision whether you add 1 pair in or 2 pairs in. And I think I'm going to add the 2 pairs in. I can always carry them with the passives if I feel I don't need them when I get over to the other side. So to do that, I put a temporary support pin in one of the holes of the ground and hang 2 pairs of passives over it. And to hang them in, I just work through in cloth stitch and put 2 twists on, and put the next hole up, the pin in the next hole in the trail edge, and then that one comes back to go out to the outside edge for the next picot. This one is definitely going to be needed, so I'm going to put 3 twists on. I know then that's a point ground stitch to come into the ground here, and I continue to work out to the outside edge and do the next picot. And back through again, and each time you look in to see what pairs you've got to add. Here you've now got the one that's going to come down this line, and you need to add one here which will come across, and this will work a stitch without a pin with this pair that we've just put in. So add the next pair in on a temporary support pin, and take that one in as well. Three twists on because it's going to come out into the ground. All this time I've still left this bridge on here to actually stop those pins moving, the bobbins moving, not the pins. Now again here you can see we're going to need another pair putting in for this point ground. And you continue along this side to get a few pairs in for the ground. I would generally do as far as I can go, and I can see here you could work down to this point before you need to go over the other side, and by that time your pairs are then secured quite well. So that's how we start a round or an oval motif working in both directions. It makes a really nice neat start. You then can continue working both sides and do the ground and more tallies before getting to the motif in the centre. Hope you've enjoyed that today. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notifications symbol to get notifications every time a new video is released, and drop me a message if you want to see a particular technique. Thank you for watching, hope you've enjoyed it.